It showed me, number one, setting up the two charts, NQ, which I trade, but also alongside ES, looking for the divergence, SMT divergence, and aligning the high time frame PD arrays, okay, and with a lower time frame entry models, right, and seeing how they bounce between one another. The bounce off of hourly, get into a inverse fair value gap, route it up to the next gap or next area of liquidity.
It's Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I'm back with Trader Court of Court Currency. We've had an opportunity to speak multiple times, so that just means that we get new, fresh content from you this time. Court, how's it going, man?
Going great. It's been an unbelievable run. I wouldn't have thought of this, and I'm just excited. Always look forward to talking to you every month anyway. So
well, I appreciate it. I always look forward to talking to you as well. I can't stress enough the importance of having a trading community, having people that you can talk to, and you've definitely become one of my guys. So I definitely appreciate you from that standpoint as well.
Yes.
So let's talk. You made a comment before we started here that you got to chat with me a little bit later in the month than expected.
What
happened, man? Where are we at?
So everything was going great. Just getting to everything was going great. Got my payout for March. My girl's birthday is the beginning of March, so bought her a car and everything. And I actually won the sweepstakes. You guys picked me for the sweepstakes, so added bonus there.
Congrats.
But then I was trading in the house as I don't normally do. My son, he can't get enough of like playing with me on the computer. He hit something. That's not what blew me up. It was me going on tilt after I lost so much. I had a little cushion on the accounts. It took me some time to to rebuild, and that's why I'm talking to you, because I would usually book the call with you like the first week of the month, but it took me some time, and glad we didn't blow up. But we're still on track.
You know what? There's such a lesson in that. It can take one little thing, one almost innocuous thing that can set your mindset off. I know. I shared with you, this happened to me actually last week. I had a situation where I think it boiled down to a copier glitch, and I was up. I just wasn't up as much as I felt like I deserved to be, like if the copier had executed properly, which is just absolute garbage thinking, went on tilt and knocked out 60% of my drawdown, and just as of this morning came back up. I mean, it's taken me over a week, but you have these moments where one little thing can set you off, and it's good to be mindful of that, because if we can realize it in the moment, we can save ourselves a lot of headache.
Exactly. And you see, good that you say that it took you a week to do it. So like once you set in your mind, look, there's no even though it happens, I just did it, but even though it happens, you set in your mind that why go on tilt, because there's gonna be more and more setups this day, the next day, day after that. You're gonna get it back. So just tame yourself.
Look at your stats. I mean, really and truly, if you're down, $300, $500, whatever your threshold is, how many days do you have that are above that? And that was a great reminder for me. Ultimately, what happened? You came back, you started regrouping and rebuilt that, that threshold and got over. So obviously, So what did you do different? What brought you back from?
So I told you that I did join a community because like we always spoke, I'm always learning. Always, right? The difference between last time and now, I'm more so full-fledged ICT. We used to talk about being ICT adjacent.
Right.
The more and more I learn about it, especially how price bounces off and flips between the PD arrays, premium and discount for everybody. It really is very smooth to me. I did a lot of different communities. Now I'm in one. If anyone knows Brian Stonk, I joined it because this crew, they get a lot of payouts. Good to be in company with people getting payouts.
Yeah, where the money is.
Yeah. It showed me, number one, setting up the two charts, NQ, which I trade, but also alongside ES, looking for the divergence, SMT divergence, and aligning the high time frame PD arrays, okay, and with a lower time frame entry models, right, and seeing how they bounce between one another. The bounce off of hourly, get into a inverse fair value gap, route it up to the next gap or next area of liquidity. Seeing it do that smoothly, it really upped my win rate.
And that's interesting because you have a history. I mean, you weren't unsuccessful as a trader. And I think that this makes a point that I try to make so often, that there is no end to this journey. There is always something that you can work on, something that you can develop. That might be strategy. In this case, obviously for you, this has created a bit of an impact. This also goes into having that community where you can communicate bad ideas off of each other and really start to merge into maybe a mindset that works better for you. And what's better for you is not necessarily better for me and vice versa. I mean, this is just the reality of trading. You have to tailor trading to you long term versus trying to force a square peg in a round hole. As you've gone down this road, did you go back? Did you do some back testing? Did you just sort of recognize that in the moment you're starting to see these things happen more often? How did this come about for you as you made this adjustment?
I definitely did back testing because early on when I started talking to you, like December, January, I spoke of there was something that I call price wave theory, with price first going like to, if it goes to one side of the Asian range, it would then distribute to the other side, kind of like Power 3 with ICT. While that worked like clockwork in the beginning of the year, then it didn't work that much, right? So I had to like cater my strategy to the market, and that with all things, that just made me try to refine things. What else? Listen to more ICT itself, although that's long and drawn out. Right. But that's why sometimes it's good to like listen to some of these other kids doing it. And I say kids, you got 21-year-olds making hundreds of thousands from these props. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, even you see inspiration, guys like Jade Cap, he made like $2 million.
And then, I'm hopefully going to have him on the Trader Bacon show at some point in the near future.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
And looking at that as inspiration, you definitely want to scale. Getting over the nerves of scaling, because if you're going to scale, that means you got to put more risk on the table. Just want to make sure you have a good edge before you do that, because edge and risk management go hand in hand. I don't think one is more important than the other.
Now, let me ask you a question, and I'm more curious than anything else, but you talked about your wave theory that you were utilizing. It wasn't working as well. Do you still utilize that in conjunction with some of the new concepts that you've put into play, or have you sort of abandoned it and moved into new concepts?
Good question. I really didn't think about that much, but now that I think about it, no. So the price wave theory is an outline, right? Kind of like when you do high time frame analysis. If I would see price going to the, say, sell side of Asian range, that just means my bias is for buys. I got buy side bias, and then I would look for entry model, but that means I may not get that entry model because it's really still going sell side. So I find that it's just much better the refinement that I just did with this group, going more ICT, line up the high time frame and seeing it bounce between the PD arrays. It just works much better with the bias.
I think that's sort of, I guess, the big concept here is it's not necessarily about completely shifting gears. You have information that has worked for you, that has worked for you. Yes. Now you're taking new information, or maybe just recycling information that you heard and didn't implement, and using that to refine your strategy, as opposed to completely abandoning and starting over. Because at the end of the day, I mean, look, traders are notorious for saying, I had a bad run, I'm going to go find a new strategy. No. But what we can do is we can say, okay, I like this foundation. However, I'm starting to see that under this set of circumstances, I have a lower likelihood of having a winning trade. So maybe this becomes a filter instead of a complete shift in the way that you operate. Is that a fair kind of assessment?
I couldn't word it better myself. Yeah, it becomes filter. Yeah, definitely. The main thing that I worry about is my downside, number one. And I like the fact, with the entry models that I use, mainly, inversions and breakers. I like the fact that I define my risk. I know that, okay, I'm going to get out, I'll lose this amount if price goes the other way. Over time, the profit curve just goes in the way you want it. That's what it's all about.
As long as we exercise good risk management, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I love it, man. So at this point, how many Apex accounts are you trading right now?
So I'm still at 15. Still at 15.
Okay.
Yeah. I got you guys have the 90% off. So
I guess as of last night. So till tomorrow. By the time you see this video, make sure you get on some of these lists so you get those notifications, because this will not be up by tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, having those opportunities, it's just a great opportunity to stock up and build the arsenal, so to speak.
I got a couple 150s like you, so. Yes. I'm gonna try to turn those into PAs.
Just don't go crazy, because if you basically treat it like you've got more drawdown, then you really don't. Right. That was my experience anyway at first.
Exactly.
What's next, man? What I know we're going to talk to you in May, because you're going to keep it consistent and keep it green. But what are you looking forward to next couple of months?
So next couple of months, I'm not gonna rush it, because 15 accounts is really good.
Yeah.
But the plan is to eventually max out. I wasn't able to do it this month because I had to crawl back from from last month. I definitely see max allocation by next month, and then from there I would add another prop firm into the list.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously working, and always great to hear from you and see what's going on. Definitely helpful to me and insightful to me, because I think having these conversations just sort of reinforces some of the stuff that I'm going through and how to best handle it, because I think we all go through the same things from time to time. Definitely looking forward to catching back up with you here in the next month or so and see where things go from there.
Likewise. All right. Talk to you soon, Gates.